All right, hey everybody, Graz back with Graz World of Sports Gaming, and we are here to do the playoffs for the 1995-96 NHL. Um, Not sure what kind of result screens we're gonna have. We'll just start at the top. Florida and Pittsburgh. We'll auto. That's fine. I like that. Okay, Pittsburgh wins game 1, 5-2. Let's see. Pittsburgh, Lemieux with 3 assists, Yager with 2 goals, Zubov with a goal and 2 assists. Okay, so Pittsburgh is up 1-0. I guess what we'll do is we'll just run through. We'll do 1 game. No, we'll do 2. Let's see. How should I do this? I guess yeah, just like in real life, we'll just go through 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Washington beats New Jersey 4-1. Okay, 4 different people score. All right, and the Devils just all right. Okay, Buffalo and Philadelphia. That's gonna get annoying if they do that. I have to do that every time. Philly wins 4-3. So we'll just leave it on this screen here. Okay. So Philadelphia wins game 1 there. Now we have the Rangers, who somehow made the playoffs. I mean, seriously, the Rangers playing the Canadiens, and the Canadiens do their thing, 4-2. Langdon and Rivet, no. Okay, 4-2. LA and Detroit. Uh-oh. Don't like that. LA beats Detroit 2-1. Well. Toronto and Calgary, game 1. Calgary wins 5-2. Stillman with 2 goals. Okay. Winnipeg and Colorado. Whoa, Colorado with 7 goals. I think they won the Stanley Cup this year. Don't really like that. Kamensky with 2 goals, though. Joe Sakic scored. I like that. I like him. He's the only thing worthwhile out of the Colorado team. McKenzie and Simon have fights. Nope. No Gordie Howe for that game. Vancouver and Chicago. Vancouver wins the game 8-7. Interesting. Is this Bob Probert for Chicago? Did he move? Thought he was a Red Wing. Maybe it's a different Probert. I don't know. Let's see. Chicago. Does it say his name? Nope. And he's a left wing. I thought Probert was a defenseman, so we won't. We'll ignore that. This is the fun one we want to see. Courtnall with 2 goals, 3 goals, hat trick. Let's see, where was there fighting? Hunter and Cummins. So Okay, so that's the game 1 of everybody. Now we'll just do game 2 for Vancouver. They win 5-2, so they are up 2-0. Wow. Alrighty. Chelios. All right. So Vancouver's up 2-0. Now Colorado to Winnipeg. Colorado wins the game 6-5. Forsberg with a goal. Kamensky with a hat trick. Man, he's got 5 goals in 2 games. Kachuk with two goals there. All right. Claude Lemieux with an assist. I know nobody likes him except for his own family. Calgary and Toronto. Toronto ties it up 1-1 with a 3-1 win. That'll work. I mean, I don't really care, but we'll see. This is going to take a while. LA and Detroit. Detroit does what they need to do and wins 7-4. Larionov, Yzerman, Konstantinov. That works. Let's see, any fights? No. Alrighty, so that's tied up 1-1. New York Rangers and the Canadiens in game 2, and the Rangers tied up 1-1 with a 3-2 victory. Okay. Fighting Langdon and Brashear. Nope, still no Gordie Howes in this year. Well, not in the playoffs anyway. Okay, Buffalo and Philly. Buffalo ties that up with a 4-3 victory. Leclerc with 2 goals. Alrighty. Barnaby and Kordic fighting. All right. Buffalo. That's crazy. Dominic Hasek, the goalie, had an assist. That's hilarious. All right. Washington and New Jersey. Washington goes up 2-0 with a shutout, 4-0. Krieger with 2 goals. Who got the shutout? That would be Carey. Okay. And then we've got Pittsburgh in Florida. Pittsburgh wins game 2. They're up 2-0. Nedved with a goal. All right. Mario Lemieux with an assist. All right, so going to game 3 for everybody. Pittsburgh and Florida. Florida. Wow, they're down 2-1, but boy, oh boy, an 8-5 victory. Mellenby with a hat trick. Nedved with 2 goals. Lemieux scores his first goal. Okay, and he fights. Lots of penalties, but no fighting. All right, so that is 2-1. Washington and New Jersey. Washington wins 6-1. They're up 3-0 over the Devils. Krieger has his 4th goal. All right. Buffalo and Philadelphia tied 1-1. Philadelphia goes up 2-1 in a 3-0 shutout. Renberg with 2 goals. Brindamore with 3 assists on the 3 goals. Barnaby and Kordic again fighting. They fought in an earlier game. Who got the shutout? Hextall. All right. The Rangers and the Canadiens. And the Canadiens win 5-3. Nemchinov, what a name. Demfaus. Love these names. Any fights? No, lots of roughing, but no fights. Okay. Red Wings and the Kings. Kings are up 2-1 over the favored Red Wings. Let's see, no fighting. Larionov, Dandenau, and McCarty. All right. Toronto and Calgary. Toronto wins 2-1, and they are up 2-1 in games. So there we go. The Avalanche and Winnipeg. Winnipeg wins a game. Good. They're down 2-1. Claude Lemieux scores. Joe Sakic scores, assisted by old Lemieux. Simon and Doig, no. Okay. Moving on. Vancouver and Chicago. Vancouver wins 5-2, and they're up 3-0. Let's see. Linden with 2 goals. Okay. And an assist. Did he get a fight? No. Oh, well. All right. So Vancouver's up 3-0. So if they win this game, then they move on. Nope. The Blackhawks at least push it to game 5. Probert with a goal there. Let's see. Cummins is fighting every game. Malcock, no. Okay. Now we have Colorado and Winnipeg. Colorado wins. They're up 3-1. Figures. Come on, Kachuk. You can do more than this. Sakic with another goal. I like it. All right, Toronto and Calgary. Toronto wins 5-2. They're up 3-1. Yep. Fighting Stern and Domi. Uh-oh, Domi with a goal. 2 goals in a fight, but no assists. Oh, so close. So close to a Gordie Howe. All right. Red Wings and the Kings. Red Wings tied up 2 games apiece with a 4-1 victory. Yzerman with a goal. I like it. Let's see, any fighting? Nope. All right. Montreal and the Rangers. The Rangers win. They're up 5-4, and that series is tied at 2 games each. Okie dokie. Turgeon with 2 goals. Any fights? No. All right. Just kind of going through the motions until we get a little bit further here. Philly and Buffalo. Buffalo wins to make that 2-2. Okie dokie. Fighting. Kordic again. Barnaby with a goal. No assists, though. Oh, Kordic, 2 fights. And, wait. Pearson and Antoski. So, did any of those guys do anything up here? No. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's tied 2-2. Washington could move on to the next round with a win here. And they beat the Devils. A sweep. I think the Capitals are in the next round. Johansson with 2 goals. Juneau with a goal and an assist. Were there fights? I'm always looking for the Gordie Howe hat trick. Nope. All right, now we go to Florida and Pittsburgh. Ooh. Pittsburgh wins 2-1. They're up 3-1. Fighting. Barry and Mellenby. Mellenby had an assist, but nope. Okie dokie. So Pittsburgh's up 3-1. Look at Washington sitting here waiting. Pittsburgh, if they win this game, they do. So Florida has been eliminated. Pittsburgh wins 4-1 in this series. All right. So it'll be Pittsburgh and Washington in the second round. Philadelphia and Buffalo. Buffalo wins 5-4, and they lead 3-2. LaFontaine with 2 goals. Always looking for the Gordie Howe. Barnaby and Antoski. They fought last game. But none of them. Yep. Okay. All right. New York and Montreal. Montreal wins 5-1. Big win. Momesso and Rivet. Nope. Pavel Bure, though. I think that's Pavel Bure with an assist and a goal. Alrighty. Really cool. So they're Now, Kings and the Red Wings. Red Wings win 3-1. They're up 3-2. Gotta love it. Konstantinov with an unassisted goal. No fighting. Okay. Toronto, if they win this game against Calgary, they will move on to the next round. Nope. Calgary wins 2-1, and now that's a 3-2 series. Lots of penalties. Gill and Stern were fighting. No. Okay. What? 5-4. Winnipeg and Colorado. If Colorado wins, they move on to the next round. Colorado wins 5-2, and they win the series 4-1. All right. Forsberg. Let's see. We have McKenzie and Simon for fights there. No. Wow, it's pretty sad when, well, I guess they won. Kamensky with 6 goals in the 5 games. Sheesh. And Colorado moves on to the next round, which we're real happy about. Vancouver, if they win, they move on. Chicago wins to force Game 6 there. Malcock and Cummins. Cummins has had a fight every game. At least one. So, fun times. All right. So, I guess, again, if Vancouver wins, they move on to face Colorado. Vancouver wins 5-4 in the series 4-2. Lots of fighting this time. Let's see. Probert and Walker. Probert had a goal, but no assist. Walker had an assist, but no goal. Cummins again. Malcock again. They fight constantly. Look at that. Another fight for Cummins and Malcock. Those two dudes are just always all over each other. So, Vancouver and Colorado are playing in the next round. Toronto and Calgary. If Toronto wins, Calgary wins 5-4. Ties the series at 3, so there will be a Game 7 there. That's awesome. Zalapsky has 2 goals for Calgary. They needed every bit of it. No fights. Okay. If the Red Wings win, they move on. Red Wings beat the Kings 3-2 and 4-2 for games. Yzerman, Kozlov, and Fedorov with an unassisted. Yeah. No fights. So the Red Wings are in the next round. Montreal could eliminate New York with a win. The Rangers with a 1-0 shutout. Wow. So that game's going to go 7. And the Rangers, Healy with a shutout. Alrighty. So that's going 7. Buffalo and Philly. Buffalo wins 2-1 and wins the series 4-2. Antosky and Barnaby, no. Okay. So Buffalo moves on to the next round. All right. Almost got the next round set. So we have a Game 7 between the Rangers and the Canadiens. The winner moves on. Canadiens beat the Rangers 4-3. Take that, New York. Fighting. Bukaboom? What a name. He's not up there. Brashear, also not up there. Any other fights down here? No. So Montreal goes on to the next round to face Pittsburgh. That'll be... No, okay, sorry, Washington. All right. Toronto and Calgary, Game 7. Calgary wins 3-2. Interesting. There's another Lemieux. How many of them are there? Fighting. Wow. Kyprios, Gill, Cruz, and Huscroft. Any of them guys up here? Not. Nope. So Calgary will play... because it reseeds. That's what they did this year. They reseeded. So Calgary will play Colorado. Excuse me. All right. So the second round is set. Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Washington and Montreal. By the way, my friend Ryan predicted that the Rangers-Montreal series would be good, and it was. It went 7. So that was good. Vancouver and Detroit, Calgary and Colorado. Okay, so game 1 of Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins 6-2 with a clubbing. Oh, my word, look at that. Mario Lemieux with 4 goals. Jaromir Jagr with 3 assists. 4 goals. He's got 5 for the playoffs, but 4 in one game. Beast mode activated. Pittsburgh went up 1-0. Washington and Montreal. Washington wins the first game 4-2. No fights, no hat tricks. Okay. Vancouver and Detroit. Vancouver wins game 1 6-5. Red Wings like to lose game 1, don't they? Wow, look at all those different people scoring goals. Cicerelli with 2. Belanger with 2. Any fighting? No. All right. Let's hope the Red Wings can turn that around. I mean, in real life, they did what they in this season, they were the number 1 seed, just like they are. And then they didn't. And then the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Colorado and Calgary. Calgary with a shutout of Colorado. Yeah. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. A lot of roughing. Any fights? No. Okay, who got the shutout? Kid for Calgary. That works. All right, so game 2 between Colorado and Calgary. Colorado wins 3-2. That's fine. Lemieux with an assist and a goal. No fight, though. I love the name Deadmarsh. That's awesome. Okay, so that series is tied 1-1. Red Wings in Vancouver. Detroit wins 5-3, so that series is tied 1-1. Let's see. Lidstrom, Larionov, Draper. All right. Tikkanen, that guy's got 6 goals in the playoffs so far. Any fighting? No. Okay, so that's tied 1-1. Washington and Montreal. Nobody's really taking. Washington wins 5-2, so they're up 2-0. Okay. So Washington has taken advantage. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Pittsburgh wins 5-2. Another big win. Lemieux with 2 more goals. Good Lord. Jagr with 2 more assists. Those 2 guys, I mean, in the regular, if you remember the regular season, they just did it. So they're up 2-0. Okay, so let's see if they can go up 3-0. Pittsburgh, Buffalo, 8-4 victory. Wow. Jagr with a goal, 2 goals. A lot of different people for Buffalo scoring. Any fighting? Nope. So Buffalo is not going to go down without a fight. Washington and Montreal. Washington wins 4-1, and they're up 3-0. Washington is looking good in this postseason. Bondra with 2 goals. That's yeah. Yeah, because in the first round, Washington hasn't lost a game in the playoffs. They're 7-0 because they swept the Devils and they're up 3 games. Man, could they win them? They're the 5 seed. Could they win? Wow. Red Wings in Vancouver. Let's go Wings. Nope. Vancouver wins 2-1. They're up 2-1 in the games. That stinks. No fighting. Yzerman scores a goal. Okay. Calgary and Colorado. Colorado wins 2-1. They win 2-1 and they're up 2-1. Deadmarsh with a goal. Haven't had a fight in a while. All right, so Colorado's up 2-1. Let's hope Calgary wins this game to tie it up. Nope. Colorado up 5-3, and they are now up 3-1. That stinks. Lemieux with a goal. Forsberg with 10 assists in the postseason. And he scored his 3rd goal. No fighting, though. All right, so they're up 3-1. Looking solid. Vancouver and Detroit. Detroit wins 5-4. That series is tied 2 games each. Yzerman with a goal. I like it. Ciccarelli with his 4th. Just kind of ticking in. Yep. Okay. So that's tied 2-2. Can Montreal win? Washington has not lost a game. Montreal ends the 7-game whatever, and now Washington leads 3-1. I mean, they're still looking good, but hey, and we got some fights. Rivet and I'm not even gonna try to Kanawalchuk. They are not up here. More fights down here though. Odeline and Riki. They're not up there. Still, there we go. Montreal ends the undefeated streak of Washington. I can't get it out. I'm excited. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Buffalo wins 3-2. Series is tied at 2. Lemieux with his 10th and 11th assists. Yager with his 5th goal. Buffalo, Audette had 2 goals. Any fighting? No. Okay. So, moving right along. Sorry, this video is going to be long because, this is quicker, or this is slower than and it's a little more fun. Buffalo and Pittsburgh tied 2-2. Pittsburgh wins 4-3. They're up 3 games to 2. Mario Lemieux with his 8th goal. Yager with his 9th assist. Burridge has 5 goals. Let's see, any fights? No. Okay. So Pittsburgh's up 3-2. Now, if Washington wins this game, they move into the semis. And they do. Washington is 8-1 in the postseason. Bondra with his 8th goal. Let's see. Fighting. Lots of other stuff. No fighting, though. So Washington moves to the semifinals. Look at that. The 5th seed has taken out the 3 and the 4. Insane. Okay, Vancouver and Washington. I'm sorry, Vancouver and Detroit. Detroit was mad at me. Look, they win 3-1. 2 goals by Kozlov. Okay. So the Red Wings are leading that series 3 games to 2. Now, if Colorado wins this game, they're going to be in the semifinals as well. Calgary wins to force Game 6. Take it. Joe Sakic with an unassisted goal. I like that. I like him. Let's see. Any fighting? No. All right. So now we're going to go bounce back up. Colorado, if they win this game, again, they're in the semifinals. Calgary forces Game 7. Loving it. 5-4. Sakic with another goal. No Lemieux. I like that. Nylander with a goal. Let's see. Any fights? No. Okay, so that will go Game 7. I'm digging it. Calgary's now gone to 2 Game 7s. Okay, if the Red Wings win this, they go to the semis. Red Wings win 4-3 and win the series 4 games to 2. Yzerman with a goal. Fedorov with a goal. Any fighting? Yes. McCarty, of course. And Hunter. Are they up here at all? Hunter? No. And McCarty? No. Well, McCarty had an assist. No goals. So, okay. The Red Wings are in the semifinals. All right. But if Pittsburgh wins this, then they're in the semis against Washington. If Buffalo wins, then we have another Game 7. Pittsburgh wins 5-3, wins the series 4-2, and goes to the semis. Mario Lemieux with his 9th goal and 14th assists. Jaromir Jagr with 6 goals and 10 assists. Wow. Any fighting in this game? No. So the one semi is set. Washington and Pittsburgh. Can Colorado play I'm rooting for Calgary big here. Yes! Calgary beats Colorado 3-1. We will have a new Stanley Cup champion. It will not be Colorado. I love it. I know other people that watch this are going to love it too. Fleury with 2 goals. He's got 8 in the postseason here. Calgary. Yeah, right. Okay, so Washington was the 5 seed here. Pittsburgh was the 1 seed. And then here we have the 1 and the 4. So we'll start with Pittsburgh and Washington. Washington wins 5-4. They are super strong in this postseason. Bondra with 2 goals. Lemieux with 2 goals. Jágr with 3 assists. Jeez. Let's see, any fighting? No. Wow. Okay, so Washington's up 1-0, and they're 9-1 in the postseason here. All right, Detroit and Calgary, game 1. The Red Wings like to lose game 1. They've lost game 1 in all 3 rounds. So interesting. All right, moving on. Let's play game 2. Calgary and Detroit. Detroit with a 5-0 drubbing. Let's see. Fedorov with 2 goals. Larionov with a goal and an assist. Fedorov with an assist. Larionov with 2 assists, sorry. McCarty with a goal. Too bad he didn't have an assist. Do we have any fights? Huscroft and Yzerman. But Yzerman didn't do anything. He didn't score. He didn't play in the scoring. Let's look at the goalie who got a shutout. Osgood. Ozzy with a 33 save shutout. Loving it. Okay, so that series is tied 1-1. Pittsburgh and Washington. Pittsburgh scores 4 and beats Washington. That series is tied at 1. Lemieux with another goal. He's got 30 points. Jágr has 23. Those 2 guys are tough to beat. But so both series are tied 1 game each. All right. Who will take the lead? Pittsburgh takes the lead 5-2, and that gives them a 2-1 lead in the games. Excuse me. Let's see. No fighting. Okay. Moving along quickly. Okay, Calgary and Detroit. Detroit with a 2-1 victory. We'll take it. They're up 2-1 as well. Yzerman. There he is. Needed that last game. No fights. Will we go the whole postseason without a Gordie Howe? Okay, the Red Wings and Calgary. Is it Calgary Flames? Yeah. Red Wings win that game 5-3. Yzerman with 2 goals. Nylander with 2 goals for Calgary. Ooh, we've got some fighting. Cicarelli and Huscroft. Neither one of them are up there in the scoring. McCarty and Roberts. They're also not up here. Roberts scored a goal, but he didn't get an assist, so he was close. All right. To Pittsburgh and Washington. Pittsburgh 6-4. Washington, I don't know. I don't think anybody can stop Lemieux and Jágr. I hope I'm proved wrong, but Jágr with 18 assists, Lemieux with 15 goals. I mean, come on. Okay, Barrie and Berube. Berube? Uh-oh. Berube, we have a Gordie Howe. Ryan, I know you're watching this. We have a Gordie Howe. Berube for Washington has a fight, a goal, and an assist. Look out. I know that's what we've been waiting for. We got one. All right. I don't know who he is, but hey, Berube. And Pittsburgh's up 3-1. So both of the Red Wings and the Penguins are one win away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Pittsburgh. Washington wins 2-1 to force Game 6. Love it. Jágr, though, 9 goals with an assist from Lemieux and Nedved. Juna with 12 assists for Washington. Okay, so that series will go 6. Can the Red Wings eliminate Calgary? Calgary wins 5-3. Can Calgary force a third Game 7? That would be impressive. 5-3. The Red Wings are up 3-2. Are there any fights? No. What happens up here? This Lemieux with his third goal. Fedorov, 14 assists now. Okay. Moving on. Both series are 3-2. If Calgary wins this, they will have forced their third straight Game 7. Unreal. Calgary just won 4-3 to force their third straight Game 7. I just can't believe that just happened. I don't believe what I just saw. I know that's baseball, but hey, I'm allowed. It's my channel. You don't like it, go somewhere else. Nylander, Millen, Fleury. All right. So that's going to go 7. That's scary. Pittsburgh and Washington, will they go 7? Nope. Pittsburgh wins Game 6, 3-2. Jagr, of course, assisted by Lemieux, of course. Sheesh. Those two guys are just unstoppable. And Pittsburgh's in the Stanley Cup Finals, waiting for the winner of Calgary and Detroit. Here we go. This is nerve-wracking for the Red Wings fan. The Red Wings win 4-3. They win the game 4-3 and the series 4-3. I love it. You can tell the joy. I am very biased. Fedorov with 2 goals. Loving it. Loving it. Loving it. Any fights here? No. So we have the Red Wings and Pittsburgh. And we have to swap home ice advantage there because the Red Wings are the number one seed. It's not going to do it. There we go. The Red Wings are the number 1 seed. They probably should have been up here. That's okay though. So Red Wings and Pittsburgh, best of 7 for the Stanley Cup. Game 1. Pittsburgh wins 5-4. Of course, Lemieux and Jagr doing their thing. Jagr's got 21 assists in the postseason. Lemieux has 22 assists. Jagr has 11 goals. Lemieux has 17 goals. I mean, come on. Those two guys are just unstoppable. All right, fighting. We have Barry. I'm not seeing him up here. Konstantinov. Also, no. Zidzik. I might have had that wrong. He scored a goal, but he didn't get an assist. Kozlov. No. Any more fights? Nope. Okay, so game 1 goes to Pittsburgh in a shootout, 5-4. Game 2, Detroit, 5-3. All right, so we got a war going. Draper, actually Lidstrom with the winning goal, and then Draper made sure. Man, Lemieux is a just monster. No fights that game. So it's tied 1-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. This is awesome. Game 3, Pittsburgh with a shutout, 3-0. Let me guess. Lemieux and Jagr. Yep. No fights. What was the goalie's name? Barrasso. 26 save. Shutout. In the Penguins, I almost called them the Steelers. The Penguins lead 2-1. Game 4, 7-1. Red Wings win. Big win for the Red Wings. They needed it too. Nedved, of course, assisted by Jagr and Lemieux. However, Konstantinov and Cicerelli combined for 4 of the goals. That'll work. That'll work. That'll do, pig. Tied 2-2. Game 5. Red Wings win 2-1. That means that they're 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. No Lemieux in the scoring. It's nice when you can shut him down, especially in a 2-1 game. Fedorov gets 2 assists. Of course, Jagr's right there. All right. Game 6. could be a Red Wings Stanley Cup. The Red Wings just won the Stanley Cup. 6-5. They win the series 4-2. That's awesome. Lemieux with his 20th goal and 3 assists to give him 28. He had 48 points in this postseason. Jágr with 14 goals and 25 assists. But the Red Wings were just, I think, a better overall team. I mean, yeah, they had the Penguins had those two dudes and Nedved, but the Red Wings are just very full, you know? I mean, I don't know. But the Red Wings are the Stanley Cup champions. There should be, I wish there was a trophy or something. But just so that you can see it, that's too small. That's okay. The Red Wings win. All right. Wow. So the top 2 guys for scoring is obviously Lemieux and Jágr. I was hoping that other Lemieux would show up on here, but I guess not. From Calgary. But yeah, the Red Wings. I'll take, whatever. I'll take it. It's a Red Wings Stanley Cup. Hope you enjoyed 95-96. I know I have. Colorado didn't win. Detroit did. We'll take it. See you next time with something else. I've been Graz, Action PC Hockey. See you next time.